Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another installment of the Torch Pesach Minute, where we're going to share a quick thought to hopefully enhance our Pesach. We do this generally for the Parsha, but now in Pesach season, we're going to dedicate a few of these to the ideas surrounding Pesach. So one of the beautiful parts of the Seder is that we have the four different sons or four different children, and one of them is the wise son, the Chacham. And we say, Chacham mahu omer, Chacham, what does he say? And then he starts asking all these questions, right? He starts asking questions. And what the world generally perceives as someone who's wise is someone who has answers. And someone who has solutions, someone who comes up with the sharp-minded perspective. But one of the things that we learn from the Seder and from the sons is that questions are extremely important to learn and to grow. And we consider wisdom not as the one who has the answers, but the one who asks the questions. And many times, in these classes, whether it's here or in other synagogues around town, people say, I have a silly question. It's not a silly question. A question is a good question because the fact that you're asking is a sign of a desire to learn. It's a sign of a thirst for knowledge. And I think it's something which is very, very important for us as parents, as adults, that we should encourage those around us to ask questions. To ask is a smart thing. To know all the answers, you ask an Israeli, do you know how to install something? They're like, oh, for sure, they know all the answers for everything. They're the smartest. They're the, it's like, but I can say that because I was born in Israel and I have plenty of my family that lives in Israel, so I can talk about the flaws of my own. But the truth is that knowing all the answers isn't wise. Knowing how to ask a question, knowing not to be ashamed of asking a question is part of wisdom. And what we acknowledge in the Seder is that when you have questions, you're wise. And we need to encourage our children not to be ashamed, not to shy away from asking questions, but rather encourage those questions. And I mentioned this in the past, but it's worthwhile mentioning. What I do at my Seder with my children is we make a contest. Who can ask more questions? I want them to ask questions from anything. One of the challenges is that the schools prepare the children with all the questions. So why does the father wear a kittel, the white robe? Oh, so that the children should ask questions. So the children will tell you why you wear the robe. So that the children, right? They shouldn't feed them these questions. The kids should come and they should be like, 1 second, why are you wearing that? The kids should be intrigued with the differences and that's a lot of what we have in the Seder are those differences of things that are not the norm that we do during the Seder. We want to inspire questions in the children. Because through questions you gain knowledge, you gain wisdom. That's where you gain clarity. And the Almighty should bless us all that we should have the wisdom to ask the questions, the right questions, and hopefully to have the correct wisdom to answer them appropriately. And certainly not. I remember I had a teacher in school who did a tremendous damage to me and to many of my classmates, because one of the students wanted to ask the question, and the teacher said what a stupid question it was. And all of us felt, I know for sure I did, I never want to ask a question again, right. Because I'm afraid that I'll be called for asking a stupid question. And that's not a very healthy thing. It's not a good thing. We should always encourage our children, even if it's a question of that they didn't use so much of their faculties to think it through. Still, we should encourage it as it's a great question. It's so wonderful that you're asking this question, and explain it clearly to them. So, ask questions. It's a good thing. It's the way to be a wise child, a wise person from a Jewish perspective. So with that, my friends, we're signing off. But we're going to continue our class here at Congregation Brith Shalom. We meet here every single Sunday morning at 11 o'clock. Today it was 11:30 due to other scheduling conflicts. But we are very excited that you'll be joining us hopefully in the future over here, Congregation Brith Shalom, 11 o'clock every Sunday morning. Thank you, and have a lovely day.